What's up, fam? Welcome to this episode of 49 Faithful Lee. I'm your host, Miriah Lee, joined by my co-host, as always, TL. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome as usual. Had a pretty productive day at work. I had some bomb beef and broccoli for lunch, and then it kind of filled me up. So for dinner, I just ate a bagel. I wasn't too hungry, so I just kind of
That's
chilled.
good. My wife had just got home with dinner, so
Oh,
I get
nice.
to eat once
What
I'm
did she
done with
bring you?
this. Um, Chick-fil-A or whatever the place is
Chick Fil
called.
A.
Yeah,
Chick Fil A.
we don't ever eat there, so
Chick
I
Fil
didn't
A.
even know what to fucking order. So I had got some chicken noodle soup
Yeah,
because I'm not feeling too well. So
yeah, I know. Everybody keep Mariah in in your prayers. She took the booster today, so she's a little under the weather. So
yeah, because at my work, if you don't get the booster and something happens and you get sick, you don't get paid. So,
mm,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Gotta love that casino industry.
yeah. And it's not like I'm even down with the guest or anything. So that's what sucks on my end.
Yeah,
It's like
for
we're the
sure.
most away from people as you could possibly be.
Absolutely.
Um, so we were just talking before we came on before we jump into the games, about speaking of Vegas, about the line on this game that it started at 6.5 and it's now at 5.5. How do you feel about that? Does that make you nervous? Does it make you feel better?
Well, so as I mean, I don't want everybody thinking I'm a gambleaholic because I'm not, but I do like to make some bets every now and then. So last game, we'll bring up the Cowboys for instance, okay? So last game, the line stayed at -3 pretty much the whole week. Like it didn't really move because people were betting like 50-50 on the teams 49ers and Cowboys. So and then when they changed this to 3.5, more people start betting on Dallas.
Right.
And then it got back to more Dallas people. Then it went back to 49ers. So then it went back to -3. So the total bets were 50-50 split across the halfway point for Dallas and 49ers. So I'm like, man, it doesn't really know who's going to win. But if you look at the other bets, so there was so you had the money line bets, which means it doesn't matter how much they win by. All they just have to win the game. And like 70% of the people bet on Dallas to just win the game. And then the over under was 50, and the people bet on the over like 76 or no 68% of the bettors bet on the over of 50.5 points, and it only scored 40.
Oh, wow.
So usually in Vegas, this gambling industry is $1 billion business. And I'm not going to sit here with no conspiracy theories and all this other stuff, but I told some guy on Twitter, I go, Vegas does not lose money.
Right.
So even though the spread was 50-50, they bet more on Dallas to win the game, and people bet more on the over. And it's funny because Dallas lost
Yep.
and the game went under. It was only 40 points. So you take that to what you will, but let's just know that Vegas does not lose money. That's all I'm going to say. So with the lines being the way they are, I don't know. I haven't looked at the percentages yet, but it went from 6.5, or did it go was 6.5 to 5.5, so it
Yep.
dropped a point. But I have to look to see what the percentages is. But for the most part, if the percentages are high and everybody's taking the Packers, I think it was if everybody's taking the Packers, then I like our chances. But we'll get into that when we start talking about that game. So
Yeah, and that's crazy because it's only Thursday, right? So we still
yeah,
have,
we still have,
basically all of Friday and
and then
then
all of pretty much
Saturday
all Saturday morning and
morning and
early
afternoon
afternoon.
here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we play at 5:15, so we're the late
Yeah.
game. So yeah, so we'll see what happens then. So
So that's a whole day of betting here in Vegas.
yeah, for absolutely.
um, while we're talking about that, before we jump into our games, I want to touch on a little bit on the other games that, since we're in the divisional round now, um, how you're feeling about the other games that are going to be going on. Let's start with the Bengals and Titans. How are you feeling about that game? The Titans are coming off a bye, joining the group with the Packers.
Yeah.
Um, and the Bengals came off a good win against the Raiders last week, knocking them out. I think Derrick Henry, they're saying he might be back. They're going to see how he feels supposedly come Saturday.
Mhm.
How are you feeling about that game?
Um, I mentioned this before, so I think the teams, and even before the wild card round with all the teams in it, I feel like the Niners and the Titans are pretty similar. Like
Yeah.
same type of quarterback situation where you don't know what you're going to get from Tannehill. Good running game and stout defense.
Yep.
I feel like Niners and Titans are the most physical teams left in the playoffs. So in saying that, and I feel like the Bengals are kind of like the Cowboys in a sense where they're young with a lot of great weapons and stuff like that. But I feel like Mike Vrabel will figure it out and be able to stop this team. He's my coach. He's my vote for coach of the year. Like this man, he lost his best weapon in Derrick Henry. He lost his best weapon. He takes the first seed, and that's impressive.
Yeah.
He took the first seed over Patrick Mahomes, over the Chiefs, and over the Bills and stuff like that, and even over the Patriots because the Patriots were playing awesome. And then they started going downhill. So yeah, I think the Titans win this game just because of the experience of them having the playoffs, and then just because I feel like the Titans might just beat them up a little bit.
Yeah. It's crazy because for a while there, once Derrick Henry went down, I was thinking that the Titans weren't even going to make the playoffs. So then for them to take the 1 seed, that is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was 2 coaches that I voted on to get coach of the year prior to the season starting, and it was the Titans coach and the Bills coach.
Yeah.
So
And Mike Vrabel, he's an awesome coach. Like he figures it out. Like I said, and it's funny you say that you look at them and you think like, man, I don't think they were going to make the playoffs. And it was kind of like us. We
yeah,
were doubting ourselves, like, man, we're 3-5. I don't know, because that's when the Cardinals were 10-2, and you know what I mean. So it just looked
yeah,
like we were on the outside looking in. So yeah, I feel like these teams kind of mirror each other a little bit, like as far as the way they play. Like they defend on their run just like we do, and they expect Tannehill just to go in there and not have any turnovers.
yeah. I think that if Derrick Henry's back and he can actually carry a workload, not just back to like just scare the Bengals back.
Yeah.
But if Derrick Henry's back, I think the Titans will win. If he's not back, I'm taking the Bengals on that one. Um,
Nice.
Rams and Buccaneers. How do you
I
feel
think
about
the
that
I
one?
think the Rams beat Tampa Bay earlier in the season,
Yeah, they did.
but I'm just not going to count out Tom Brady in his house. I mean, they beat him in SoFi,
Yep.
so Tom Brady is Tom Brady. However, like I tweeted before while I was watching the Arizona game, I was like, the Rams make it look easy unless they're playing the Niners.
Yeah.
And it's true. It was like, they play everybody else, and it's like, man, I don't want to play this team. But then when we play them, it seems like, I don't know if they're
It's
just
a
scared or
completely
whatever the
different
case may
team.
be, but
Yeah.
they're just a different team. But I'm not going to count out them either. But, I'm going off of experience as well. Tom Brady's hungry. And let's be real here. I think Tom Brady wants nothing more than to probably play the 49ers in the NFC Championship. I think he just wants to stick it to us bad. I have a feeling like he just
Yeah.
he was a 49ers fan growing up, all this stuff about we picked Jimmy over him, and these players that are elite like that, like they hold grudges. I don't care what
Yeah.
nobody says. Like they sit back and they mark stuff like that on their calendar. So in saying that, I'm gonna go Tampa Bay, but I think it'll be a close game.
Yeah, that game worries me, because for everything that you just said, and it's like I want to take the Rams, but it's like if I feel like if Tampa Bay had any other quarterback, I would probably take the Rams in this game.
Hmm.
But I can't bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs in the Super Bowl. Um yeah, that's going to be all these games this week are going to be really good games.
Hmm.
Um but I'm going to take the Buccaneers as well.
Hmm.
Bills and Chiefs. This is going to be a great game as well.
Yeah, I'm watching. That's probably like. I mean, I'm gonna try to watch all the games, but I have my kids this weekend, so I'm gonna take them out and do some stuff. But I think that's. I mean, if obviously I'm gonna watch the Niners game, but if I have to watch another game, it's gonna be that one
Yeah.
for sure. So I'm gonna say, and the Bills beat them earlier in the season, and they beat them pretty handily, and I think it was in Kansas City too.
Yeah.
I just think that that team is locked in. The Bills just look Like that's one team like I don't want to play. Bills just look locked in.
Yeah.
Like Josh Allen is on another level. Like that defense is just I don't know. Like I think the Bills are going to win, and I think they win by at least 10 points.
Yeah. Um, I mean, if I had like personal preference, my favorite quarterback to watch in the league is Josh Allen.
Same.
Um,
He's not the best. I don't
right.
think he's the best, but he's my favorite.
Yeah.
He's my favorite quarterback. Absolutely.
Yep.
Mm,
And I would love nothing more than for them to go in there and kick the crap out of the Chiefs. So I'm taking the Bills as well.
cool. Almost
Um,
in sync a little bit. Except
yep.
except you had the Bengals.
And that's just depending on Derrick Henry. I think that's all the games, right?
Yeah, it's just four. It's four. Yeah, it's 4 games.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, jumping into 49ers and the Cowboys. 49ers came away with the victory 23-17. It was so nice to just beat the crap out of the Cowboys. And it was even the best part of the whole thing while watching it is seeing all the crying Cowboys fans, that they kept showing, prior to going on commercial or after commercial, and all these fans are just in the stand just like so crying and miserable, and the girlfriends like patting them on the backs, and and then like people now put all those pictures together, on Twitter and stuff, and it's going around. I seen that somebody made socks out of the different
Oh,
ones,
that
all
was
the pictures and stuff.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's hella funny. um but man, that was a crazy game,
Before
right?
you
Like,
go, you see the guy who got caught cheating or something like that.
no.
So the guy that was all hugged up with this female, like he had her on his arm and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess he told his girl like, "Oh, I'm going out with the fellas."
Oh, wow.
And then he was caught on camera with this other female. Like it was just a mess. I'm like, these people are
That's what they
so
get.
stupid. Like, yeah, it's definitely on serious. That's what he gets. But I was just
Yeah.
like, this dude's an idiot. You're in a prime game where the camera just flows wherever it wants to go. Like
Yeah.
and so like for you, and then for you to be and then for your girlfriend or whoever she was to be a fan of the Cowboys, you didn't think she
Yeah.
was watching. Like it was just, and then as she posted it, and she was this guy. I'll send it to you. This guy put this guy got 2 L's in one day. He lost his girl and he lost the game because yeah, and she posted it.
Wow.
She goes, yeah, I'm tired, of this dude. He lied to me, and he said he was gonna go X, Y, and Z, and then I got so many text messages saying that they saw him, and it was hilarious. I'll send it to you when I get a
Typical
chance. But
Cowboys fan.
yeah, it was hilarious though.
Real quick, just want
Hmm.
to say what's up to Sin, Joel, Tanya, Bill, John V. What's up, fam? Hope you guys are all
What's up,
doing
fam?
well. Thank you for joining
I
us.
love all you guys. I say this every week, but I love you guys, man. You guys support us to the fullest, man. Like you guys don't miss. And I know there's a lot of shows on tonight. I know that Grant's on and like 49ers Hive, and I think Javi Vega's doing his. So you know what? I appreciate you guys, man. You guys are awesome. And this is from the bottom of my heart, man. You guys are cool people, man.
Yep, I agree. So yeah, I mean, we started this game to where like we were kicking the crap out of them. Things were going so great, and it's just like I was just like holding my breath, like when is it gonna happen? When's something gonna happen? When's Jimmy gonna happen? And sure enough, it happens, and the Cowboys almost came back and beat us, and it was like a nail biter to the very last second, like millisecond, like time was already running out past the seconds, and the Cowboys were mad, thinking that they were still having time on the clock, right? So, um, what were you thinking while watching this game? What were your feelings? How do you think the game went? How do you feel Jimmy G did?
You know what? It's sad, fam. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, with you, Mariah, and everybody on the chat. We can never go into a game thinking like, man, when is my quarterback going to mess up? That's it's sad. Like it's hurtful.
Yeah,
Like it sucks that we have to sit there on the edge of our seat thinking like, is it going to be first quarter? Is it second quarter? Like it's going to happen, but it's like, well, when? And it's always at the worst times.
yep,
So, and I laugh because, I was trolling. I think you heard me on Spaces earlier because people were sitting there like, I was talking to one of the guys on Spaces and I asked him about, hey, do you think Richard Hightower, the special teams coach, should he be fired? And he goes, absolutely, he should be fired. And I go, well, tell me why Richard Hightower should be fired. He goes, Richard Hightower should be fired because like he makes his special teams units, they make all these mistakes. They almost cost us games. I go, oh, doesn't that sound like our quarterback? He goes, well, yeah. And I go, so why doesn't he deserve to be benched?
Right.
He couldn't say anything because exactly what you described of why you feel Richard Hightower should be fired is the same way that you describe our quarterback, but he gets a pass. And that's what bothers me. And and I know and you know what? And at this point, I'm not even really pissed off at Jimmy. It is what it is. Like I feel like it's Kyle. Like I love Kyle. He's an excellent. He's still to me. He's still a questionable decision maker. But I will say he's an awesome offensive mind. Like
Right.
he would never out of a game because of him. So I'm not bashing on Kyle. I'm just saying like he does make some questionable decisions. So it's just just going into games and thinking that, and it's like, man, in the fourth quarter, and and two, it's like, I don't, and I'm not going to say that Jimmy is the reason that Fred Warner got hurt, but he could have avoided Fred Warner getting hurt if he hadn't do that turnover. You know what I'm saying? Like, though that play didn't even have to happen. So yeah, Jimmy played solid football the first half. I feel like,
Yeah.
I mean, his best throw was that one to Ayuk outside the numbers. I was impressed. I think Jimmy threw it from the 15 and he hit Ayuk at the 40 or something. So it was he threw a nice ball outside the numbers to Ayuk. I mean, he was wide open, but, shout out to Ayuk. But yeah, he played solid football. But again, it's like, I had said it before too. It's like, I said it on Twitter, it's like one of those things where I never hear Andy Reid or Matt LaFleur or Bruce Arians go into a press conference or no, I won't even say that because Kyle doesn't talk about Jimmy. I'll use the fans' perspective. Like on these spaces, we're talking to the fans. You never hear the fans say, "Oh, if Aaron Rodgers plays clean football, we're gonna win." If Josh Allen doesn't turn the ball over, if Patrick Mahomes doesn't turn the ball over, you never hear that ever.
Right.
You always hear that from Niner fans. This has to go well. That has to go well. This has to be perfect for our quarterback because we know a turnover is coming. So, I know all the fans in here, they're all level headed and they know our stance, but and I'm gonna say this until he's off the team. He is not the reason why we win games. I don't care if he's 3-1 in the playoffs. The team is 3-1 in the playoffs. This man has the worst QBR in the fourth quarter in NFL history in the last 30 years. 4 games, he's thrown 83 passes, 4 interceptions, and 2 touchdowns. So that just shows me he throws an interception every 20 passes or so.
I think he's thrown 5 interceptions in the last 3 games.
Yeah, like in the regular season, he threw 2 against the Titans. He threw 2 against the Rams, and then he threw 1 against Dallas.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's thrown 5. He's thrown
5.
5 interceptions in 3 games, and I think only 2 touchdown passes or something like that. 2 or 3.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah, so the ratio is not good, but 83 passes in 4 playoff games, including the Super Bowl. 83 passes, 4 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, with this pretty much a percentage of he's going to throw a pick every 20 passes.
And this is the guy people want to have as our quarterback next year too.
Yeah, which is sickening. But
Yeah.
so this is just so this is the stats I bring up, and this is funny because I laughed because I was going to post something before we started the show and was like, here's how the fans react to a mistake. Jimmy throws a mistake. Oh, Jimmy, just shake it off and take care of it the next series. A special teams unit, they make a mistake. Fire Hightower, he's trash. And like, man, keep the same energy for everybody.
Yep.
So yeah. So this game, I'm glad we won. I don't know how many people know my age, but I'm 42 years old. So I'm old. I know I look like I'm 32. I know I'm handsome, only 32 years old. I
Black
look it,
don't
but
crack.
yeah, but on the real though, yeah, I'm 42 years old. So this rivalry was everything to me. Like I just, I hated Dallas in the 90s. Like, we went to the NFC Championship with the with them 4 times, and they beat us 3 out of the 4 that we went. And luckily, we won the one in Super Bowl '95. But they could have won 4 Super Bowls straight, honestly, if it wasn't for us interfering with that. But I couldn't stand Dallas, and I still hate them. That rivalry will never go away. So,
Before I
yeah.
even became a 49ers fan and I even knew, really about football, I knew that I hated the Cowboys. Like, I've hated the Cowboys longer than I've been a fan of football. That's the
Really?
crazy part. Yeah.
Look at
I
John
don't
V.
know why. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy. So I think you were destined to be a Niners fan, I
Yeah, it
guess.
must have been.
Look at what John V said. I got roast on my own show for blaming Jimmy for Fred's injury. And obviously he's not the reason.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if that interception is not thrown, that injury could have been avoided. So you're right, John V. It's not, we can't say it's Jimmy's fault because the plays are the plays. But yeah, if he just plays clean football and he doesn't throw the ball away, I mean, if he just throws the ball away instead of trying to force stuff in, Fred's not even in that position to even be injured. So yeah, I totally agree with you. You know what? The thing with Jimmy, I don't want you to be Josh Allen. I don't want you to be Aaron Rodgers because we know you're not that. What could be Tia? We look damn young. John V, stop, man. You look like you're 53. Get out of here. No, I'm just playing with you, brother. I love you, man. But yeah, no. Just give me Trent Dilfer. Give me Trent Dilfer when he was with Baltimore. Clean football, no turnovers, 200 yards passing, no touchdowns, but no turnovers is the most important thing.
Yeah.
If you can give me like 17 for 23 with 200 yards and no interceptions, I can take that all day, and no fumbles. I can take that all day because now I know you're managing the game. It's sad that no, I feel you, John V. It's sad that our 6th-round rookie running back is more reliable than our $27 million quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
I
That's
mean,
real talk.
the only turnovers that we have are turnovers that Jimmy causes in the last how many games?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Our running back, like you said, he doesn't fumble.
Nope.
He doesn't turn the ball over.
6th-round pick.
Yeah.
He might not even be getting paid $1 million.
Right.
He's probably like $900,000, and then, but he's more reliable than our $27 million a year quarterback.
Before you get back into the game, I forgot to mention, speaking of being reliable, our $27 million quarterback, it came out after the game, I think the next day, right? That now he has a sprained shoulder?
Sprained or strained, one of them two, yeah.
Right in his throwing arm. So now he has another injury. So now he has an injury in his
arm,
injury in his thumb, in his throwing hand, and now an injury in his shoulder, in his throwing arm. And again, this is an injury that Kyle downplayed and Jimmy upplayed. I don't know what the word is.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
And Kyle said that wasn't the reason for Jimmy's bad throws and all that. And Jimmy said that it's an injury in his throwing arm, so of course it affected every throw. So take that for what it's worth, and then you can jump back into the game and his second half performance, because it came out, I think that happened in the second quarter. The injury.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, everything happens in the first half, and then so that's the excuse of playing bad in the second half.
And we touched on this before, right? That whenever Jimmy has a bad game, it always comes out the next day that he's injured.
Yep.
So that's kind of weird how that happens this season.
Yeah. Such a coincidence, huh? I mean, against Seattle, when the defense had 5 straight 3-and-outs and he couldn't make any plays, and they put Train in the second half. It's a strained calf. He's hurt. And then I'm surprised that they didn't say he was. Did they say he was hurt in Indy? Or was that the game? No, he got hurt in Indy too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So every game that he's played bad, it came out that he's injured after.
And then and then like you said, the Titans game, he's injured, and then now the Cowboys game. And and this is what I'm going to say about that, and then we can get back to the game. I am in no way saying that he's faking it. I think there is some kind of injury to his thumb. Yeah. I truly believe that. Torn ligament, I doubt it. Because here's my thing. No matter how much pain meds, no matter how much cortisone shot or whatever you want to put into that thumb, it can, obviously, I know that the pain will be taken away, but you still need to be effective throwing that football. If you have two torn ligaments in your thumb, how can you grab the ball and throw it properly because he's putting some pretty good velocity on those throws.
Yeah.
So I don't really believe that there's as it's as severe as what they're saying. I just don't
And he
believe
has
it.
little hands.
Yeah.
So he needs that thumb even more to be able to grip that ball. And then
Yeah.
he said it feels like it's ripping apart every throw that he makes. That's what he said it feels like.
See, I call BS on that. I just don't believe it. Like I said, I'm not sitting here saying the man's a liar, whatever the case may be, but I'm sorry. You got quarterbacks like Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, who had the same injury and they were out for 5 to 6 weeks. And they
Russell
had
Wilson
and
that's never missed a game up
yeah,
until that point.
exactly. And you want to talk about an Iron Man. Like he would have been if this injury is as bad as what they're saying, if it's the same injury as Russell Wilson's, I can guarantee you Russell Wilson he would have played.
Yeah.
But he took time off. He had surgery. I think it's a trade value thing. I think they're trying to make it seem like he's just this Iron Man who goes through it and he's tough and he's battle tested and all this other nonsense. That's what they're trying to see.
Yeah, they keep
But
saying he's a warrior and
get out of
like,
here.
oh my god.
Yeah, he's a warrior. So I think it's just a trade thing. So I think Kyle's, I think our team and Jimmy's camp are kind of working in cahoots just to say this is what's going to happen. But at the same time, it's kind of it helps you, but it hinders you at the same time because now people are going to look like, okay, yeah, he played, but he's always hurt. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's a gamble that his camp is taking. I get it, but miss me with the nonsense. Don't tell me that you have a torn ligament in your thumb and you go out here slinging the ball like that. Because, like I said, Drew Brees and Russell Wilson had the same injury and they were out 5 to 6 weeks. But you mean to tell me that he's so tough and he's such a macho man that he can give him some shots and take away the pain? Stop it.
Right.
So yeah, I agree. So going back to the game, first half, Jimmy, of course, was pretty good. I mean, he was efficient. Like I said, he had that before the half went. He had that long throw to Ayuk, and I think he finished. I think he only missed 2 or 3 passes that first half, and then he had like 100 something yards. So he was efficient. And that's the efficient Jimmy we need for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type performance where you have 2 different personalities and you're 2 different people. Like I need you locked in and I need you staying focused. Yeah, I mean, if you're really trying to, I mean, I don't know even know what his plans are. Like I don't know if he's, yeah, Tanya, yeah, I agree. It's crazy to me. Like, and I think, I don't know what his plans are. I don't know if he's wants to leave. Like he's just like, I just want to get out of here. But you would think somebody who's, and we mean you and I have talked this before. Like you're competitive and I'm competitive. Like I'm gonna
Right.
bank on myself every time. So if I'm out there, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna ball out because I want to show my new team that I can take them to a championship as well. It's not just Kyle's system that makes me look good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah, I agree with you, Tanya. I don't believe it. It's crazy to me. There's no way he's throwing the football like that with a torn ligament in his thumb. I played quarterback when I was a younger kid and then I stopped when I got into 8th grade. But I played in Pop Warner stuff like that. There is no way I'm gonna be able to grip a football and throw it with my thumb like hanging. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
especially those NFL balls. They're
that's what I'm
big.
saying. They're big. Yeah, there's no way. So yeah, I mean, defense played the lights out. D'Amico Ryans is playing himself into a head coaching job. Or coaching himself into a head coaching job because
Yeah.
he's lights out. I mean, this
Yeah.
guy after 1 year, people are already requesting interviews, so that's
It's
impressive.
crazy,
So
right?
yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
I
people
hate
were
I hate
calling
it.
for Salah's job after the first couple years, and this
Yeah,
guy's already getting head coaching interviews
yeah.
after the first year.
Well, look at after that Packers game. Oh, D'Amico sucks. He let Aaron Rodgers drive up the field, and
Yeah.
he is not as good as Salah. Now everybody's like praising him, and now it's getting to the point where it's like, oh, now he's getting calls. He's toughing it out for sure. Yeah, he's getting calls now to be a head coach, and I hate to lose the guy, but he has to do what's best for his family. Like I hope. I mean, if it was me personally, I would turn it down because I would feel like I need 1 more year in the NFL of being a coordinator. Like, give me 2 years and then give me a coaching job. But like I said, money talks. So if
Right.
he's offered something that he can't turn down, I don't blame him one bit. Like, do what's best for you and your family. So So
I
yeah, I
don't I
like.
don't really
Yeah,
think that he's gonna get hired though after this. I don't
you,
know.
you think it's just a Rooney
There,
Rule thing? You think
I
it's
not
just?
I don't think just that. I think that,
Mm,
teams are interested, but there's a lot of names out there getting interviews right now.
yeah,
A
there
lot of
is.
people with experience, and
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
you
know.
know what though? These people that are like, I feel like the NFL and the NBA suck at recycling these coaches. Like
Yeah,
I
they
saw,
do.
something like somebody was hiring Jay Gruden. I'm like, why? Like to me, he hasn't done nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just, but like, I don't know. I just don't get it. But yeah, I just hope he stays. Adam Peters, he had a second interview. He's probably gone.
Yeah.
And then who I think they had was Rand Carthon had an interview too. They're both going. They both had second interviews with the Giants, so they're probably going to be like a tag team and probably going to that organization. But like I said, to each their own, man. They have to feed their families. I'm gonna suck. It's gonna
Yeah.
suck to lose Adam Peters for one reason alone. He's mainly picked the draft on day 3. Like Kyle and John have gotten their guys in the first and the earlier rounds, but they said that Peters, like, he's the one who drafted Kittle, and he's the one who got DJ Jones and Juwan Jennings, stuff like that. So he's in his bag. So he knows what he's doing when it comes to scouting. He's Matter of fact, he handpicked Ambry Thomas.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
I
he went to
just feel
bat.
like they
Yeah,
say he picked all the good players, and John always gets all
maybe,
the flack for picking the bad players.
possibly,
Like,
and
who are we
possibly.
to know who picked who?
Yeah, and possibly right. Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
just how I feel.
yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, that could be it too. I mean, it wouldn't make sense if you were just like, I want the top 100 prospects. I want to pick them because they're the best. I want pick whoever's my team, but I'm gonna leave it up to you and the scout team to fill the holes that we need on this roster. So it makes sense, but at the same time, I get it. I think John is kind of probably looked at as kind of, oh, he makes the bad picks because everybody still blames him for that Solomon Thomas
Yeah.
pick, and so yeah, so I get it. So yeah, um, I mean, I know this game was at the edge of your sick. It was nail biter. I felt like they gave us 2 cardiac arrests in the last 2 games against the Rams, and then against. So I expect the same thing, honestly. I expect this game to be up and down. I expect um, our defense to do what they're supposed to do. And I had tweeted earlier, like, I hear so many fans, like, so many fans are like so close minded and don't use their brains. And this is what I mean. Like, everybody's still referencing 2019. Well,
Yeah.
2019, we ran all over them, and I'm just like, it's a different team. First of all, we played at our house where the weather's much nicer. We're going into 8-degree weather with snow possibly and winds, and it's not going to be the same atmosphere. Mostert's not on the team. Like, I don't expect we're not going to get somebody running for 200 something yards and 4 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not going to happen. Like, the Packers are not going to let that happen to them again, especially not in their house. So it's going to be a close game. So what are your things for the game?
Um. Yeah. Just to close up on the Cowboys game. Who did you do your game balls for that game?
Yeah, I did actually. So for defense, I'm going to give a shout out to Emmanuel Mosley. Mosley's been doing his thing. I mean, the touchdown that was allowed in the air wasn't even on him. It was on K1.
Yeah.
He did an amazing job on whoever he was on at receiver, whether it was CD Lamb or was what's his name? Coop. What's his name? Can't think of his. My
Uh.
mind went blank. Amari Cooper. There we go.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper, like, whoever he was on, like, he did an excellent job on Mosley for being an undrafted guy. He's definitely a starting corner. Like, kudos to that organization for all the undrafted guys with him and Aziz and Flanagan Falls. Like, these dudes do an amazing job with these late round guys, man. So yeah, I'm gonna give mine to Emmanuel Mosley. I think he did a bang up job.
Um. Offense.
Offense, I'm gonna go with Brandon Ayuk. He could have had a huge game. He should have
Yeah.
had over. He should have had over 100 yards. And if Jimmy hit him on that out route, on the sidelines, the game is over because we can eat up the clock and we probably score at least a field goal on that drive. And I feel like it would have took the air out of that stadium, which was already quiet. I think people after that probably would have left. it probably would have been like, okay, it's 26-7, going. This game is over. But that throw, and it sucks because that throw gave the not hitting that throw gave the Cowboys life.
Yeah, and I mean that's how many times in a game now, this season in these last couple games has Jimmy missed a wide open receiver. Like that's the easiest should be such an easy throw for him to make, and the receiver's just standing there like, and with Ayuk's freaking arm span,
Yeah, that
his
wingspan is
arms are
crazy.
hella long, right?
Yep.
And he like jumped up there and couldn't even put his freaking fingertips on that ball.
Yep.
Had Jimmy hit him, that could have possibly been a touchdown.
Yep.
But if not, a huge gain for sure.
Yep.
And
But you
it's
leave it
just
to
like
the
that's
Jimmy
constantly
fans.
what we see from Jimmy.
Yeah, you leave it to the Jimmy fans though. Brandon Ayuk, he ran the wrong route.
They're so ridiculous, I swear. Before I get to mine, what's up, Breezy? So he asked, so if Peters goes to New York, is Jimmy going with him in the Giants trade Jones? What do you think about that?
That's a good question, Breezy. I honestly wouldn't mind Jones being a backup to Trey Lance. I think he'd be a serviceable backup, kind of like in the mode of like Mitch Trubisky. He had his time to be the starter, showed he couldn't do it in that organization. So maybe we can bring in Daniel Jones like on a 1 year deal and let him sit, and then he can have his pickums from there. Like if he goes out and he can say, yeah, because I think, I mean, I know we give Kyle a lot of credit, but I feel like there's so many quarterbacks who can excel in this offense, and Daniel Jones, he's an athletic guy. Like he can run. You know what I mean? He can run. He
Yeah,
has a pretty good arm. Like if we say, you know what, let's give you you know, give me a third and Daniel Jones, and then I'll give you Jimmy or whatever the case may be. I'll take that in a heartbeat. I would do that, Breezy.
yeah, I agree. I don't know if he was talking about trading Jones to us,
And the
but
Giants trade Jones. I mean, I would take. I mean, if
but
they
yeah,
want,
I would
yeah,
take him as a backup to
yeah, if they
Lance
want as a
as well.
backup, yeah.
Yeah,
And if
because he can run.
And Breezy, I don't know what team would actually want Jones as a starter. Because I mean, like I said, I look at Jones kind of like in the mold of like a Mitchell Trubisky, because Mitchell Trubisky, he played solid. I thought with the Bears, like he didn't blow the doors off. He didn't blow the doors off, but even after he became a free agent, he couldn't find a starting job anywhere. Like he took a $2 or $3 million deal to back up Josh Allen. Like he took peanuts for a backup.
Right.
So, I don't know, like, but yeah, if Daniel Jones wants to come here as a backup, I'd take him in a heartbeat. I really want Mariota. I think that'd be perfect. But for Jones being as young as he is, yeah, I'll take that. Like I would ask for him in a trade for Jimmy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, like, who has Jones really had around him besides players that are always freaking injured?
I know.
They finally get him, the running back always injured. They finally get him wide receivers this season. They're all freaking injured. And it's
Yeah.
like, what do you expect the guy to do? Like
Yeah.
he has an arm, he can throw
He
it
does.
and he can run. Like, yeah, I would be
You know
hella
what's
down to
funny?
take him as a
You
backup.
know what's funny? I feel so bad for him. And Galladay, I don't know if he was hurt. I didn't pay attention to him this year, but he signed that $72 million deal, and he had 0 touchdowns this season. And then they drafted that Kadarius Toney in the first round.
Every
He
wide
had
receiver
zero
on that
touchdowns.
team was hurt this season.
Yeah, he had 0 touchdowns, like between those two guys. It's
Yeah.
terrible. And then he's had Evan Ingram, who's a good tight end when he's healthy. He's always hurt.
Yep.
So yeah,
And that's the thing about, like everybody wants to like with what JV's saying about Russ going to New York. It's like, yeah, everybody wants to say that because his wife wants to be in New York or whatever. But why would Russ want to go to a shittier team than what the Seahawks are? The New York has no cap space, so he's going to go to New York with no weapons, no offensive line, the thing that he's complaining about in Seattle. It's like that would be such a stupid move, I
yeah.
think,
If
if
I'm
for Russ to
Russ,
do that.
if you really want a location and a team that's kind of good that just really needs a quarterback, I would ask for a trade to go to like Miami or something.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Go to the Dolphins, and then if I'm Pete Carroll, be like, give me Tua, because at least you have a young quarterback to work with. Like, give me Tua, give me a pick. Russell Wilson, they got good weapons down there, and they're a good team. You
Yeah.
know, they get themselves a good coach and they put a good quarterback around them. I can see them. That'll make that division interesting because then you have the Patriots, the Bills, and then you have the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? So it could be interesting. But that's what I mean. If his wife is looking for a city to perform in or whatever the case
Yep.
may be, Miami would probably be the best spot because you know they're all about their concerts and their partying and stuff
Right.
down there. You go to a great environment where it's not too cold, and you're in Miami. So,
Yep. Tell Sierra, welcome to Miami and get
yep,
going. um, Derek Carr in Pittsburgh.
that'd be a good fit for him.
Did you see now that the rumors are coming out that Harbaugh does want to go to the Raiders?
Yeah, I saw that they said that he would take the job. It's kind of bittersweet for me. And Breezy's he's a Michigan Wolverines fan too. So I mean, Harbaugh has done some nice things, but he can't win the big game. I'm just glad he finally beat Ohio State, which is good. Sorry,
Yeah.
JV, but I'm sorry. Glad he's. But I mean,
At
it's
least you
just
get
it's
one
just
season to
it's
brag.
just interesting to me because you know, when Harbaugh was with Stanford, you know, he was able to go to wherever Andrew Luck is from, recruit him from the, because, you know, I don't know if a lot of people know this. So Stanford does not give out athletic scholarships. They
Oh
don't give
wow.
them out. Nope. It's only for academics because Stanford is like, you can't be no dummy and go to Stanford. I put it
Right.
that way. So, you know, it's you gotta be like a straight A student. So they do not give out athletic scholarships, only academics. So, and I think Andrew Luck's from the East Coast. So for him to go into his living room, talk to his parents, and say, "Hey, um, get very far to you." What is he talking about?
I think
Oh,
Michigan.
he's talking about Michigan. I mean, we got further than you guys, so that's all that matters. But anyway, but yeah, no, like for him to recruit a top-notch quarterback like Andrew Luck, I'm just shocked he couldn't do that at Michigan, which is like more of a top-tier program
Right.
with the most college championships in history. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know.
Um. So yeah, my game balls. I don't know. I really didn't put any down yet, but let me think of some real quick.
All right.
um. Actually, for defense, I am gonna give it to D'Amico again because, like you touched on, for him being like the first time defensive coordinator, we went into this season with people. I won't say who, but there are people calling out that like, oh, the team don't want to start a rookie quarterback because a rookie quarterback's never taken a team to the Super Bowl, but you think that we're going to get there with a rookie defensive coordinator and already like talking so much shit on the guy before the season even started, and he's done nothing but great things this season. Like we talked about at the beginning of the show, like for him to already have head coaching, job interviews after one season, um, that speaks for itself. He's excelled at every single step of his, the way up into this point in his career. And I think that that's, just helped him be, a great coordinator at this point. So yeah, I think there was a few questionable calls, but he was asked about them in the press conference, and I mean,
Mhm.
he had his reasoning for it. So who are we to say that, you know, other people's reasoning versus his whatever's right?
Exactly.
Um, he had a reason, so that's all I care about. I'll trust him. He's the one that's getting paid to do the job. So, yeah, I'm gonna give him my game ball,
Okay.
and then offense. I know that we haven't done this all season because we could have given it to him every single game, but I got to go with Debo. He pretty much put this game, as he's done so many times this year, on his back and carried this team to the win.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Debo.
Yeah. And for him to call out a touchdown before it happens,
Yeah.
he told Kyle, "Give me the ball." After that K1 Williams interception, he said, "Hey, give me the ball. I'm gonna score a touchdown." Okay, cool. And of course, that's Debo. So you're going to take his word for it, call up a good play for him. And he did exactly what he said he was going to do. And he goes, I told you, coach. And Kyle was like, well, thanks for telling me.
Yeah, and that play, the what he did in that play like was amazing too, for him to be running this way, the route was supposed to all go one way, and for him to cut back like that and then take
Cut
it to the
back.
house,
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
man, he does some amazing
Douche
things.
is dynamic. I mean,
Yeah,
plain and
like,
simple. Yeah.
yeah, once you think like, man, he, like we've seen him do it all. What's up, Sersky?
Sersky, what up,
Um
man?
like, like we've seen him do it all. He's, like once we think that we've seen him at the top of his possible peak, he does something else to just make you be like, wow, like he's so fun to watch.
And you know what's crazy about him too? Like I like that Debo got that dog in him, and he's not a soft receiver because when after that 2020 season, Kyle kind of told him like he was hurt, he had little
Yeah,
nagging injuries. He goes, "Hey, I want you to get in better shape. I want you to cut some body fat and get in the weight room and stuff like that." And instead of him acting soft about it and crying like Dante Pettis did, he
right.
went in there and he took care of business and he cut some fat and he's in great shape and look and it's paid a lot of dividends, and that man's about to get the bag. I don't
Yeah,
see him. I see him getting at least 20 million a year going forward because he's earned it. Because he went in there and he worked out. He did what he was supposed to do. He didn't pout. And now, so I'm glad that man he's on track. He's probably, and it's funny because I used to say when healthy that Christian McCaffrey was probably the best weapon in football because of
right.
him being able to line up in the slot and play running back. But I think that Debo has overpassed him as far as being the best offensive weapon
Yeah,
because he can do so much in an offense. So whether it's pass, throw, or run, you know what I'm saying? The man can do it all. He can probably do kickoff and punt returns if you needed him to. So yeah. No, I mean, like you said, we can give him the MVP, the game ball every week. But
yep.
yeah, him and IU actually, they both have done their thing. So yeah, you can't go wrong with either one. So
And then he does all that, and on top of it, he's such a dog and such an athlete, and does such great things out there that he puts such fear into the defense. Like Kyle puts him out there onto the field, and you just see the defense scramble. Like they don't know what the hell is going to happen. They don't know what he's about to do. And it's like they're scrambled everywhere, and then he gets the ball in his hands, and it's like he just runs them over. Like, we're seeing, highlight reels now with him just like chucking people out of the way as he's
yeah,
going, like, and this is supposed to be a wide receiver.
yeah,
That's the crazy part.
he's definitely Debo Samuel, that's for sure. Because
Yeah.
he be bullying people. He be out there
Yeah.
just
That name is
taking
so
people's. Yeah,
fitting.
it fits him. Yeah, he's be out there taking people's lunches. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So yeah,
What's up, media? But yeah. Um, so you touched on a little bit 49ers going into Lambeau Field,
that
into the
frozen tundra.
frozen tundra, and it's supposed to be. Did we see like a official temperature? I know that I saw one thing, and it's supposed to be like negative whatever with the wind chill, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, the last thing I saw, it was supposed to be like 8 degrees or something like that. 8 degrees with I don't know if it was supposed to be snowing or not. I kind of glimpsed at it and see what it said, but I know it said something like 8 degrees. At least it's supposed to be less than 10. I know that
Yeah,
for
that's
sure,
crazy.
which is ugly. So
But like they talked about it, in the pressers this week, asking the players, if it's gonna, make a difference and how do they prepare. And most of them seem like, and the coaches seem like that it doesn't make that much of a difference. The cold, that is, when you're
mhm,
playing, that it makes a bigger difference, like you said, if there's snow or if there's rain or wind, of course. But the fact that it's just cold, like it doesn't affect them that much because they're out there moving around.
sure.
And they said that they have heaters on the sidelines and heated seats for them. So, that they keep pretty warm out there. So, I would think, though, for the wide receivers, that has to be difficult catching that freaking ball when it's
Catching that ball.
hella cold like that.
And it's slippery when you're out there running them routes too, with the snow
Yeah.
on the ground. You know what I mean? So that takes an effect. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'll be interested to see if it ends up snowing or if it's just, going to be super cold. But
Yeah.
um, Green Bay is coming off a bye. How are you feeling about this game? About Aaron Rodgers seems to be having himself another MVP season.
Yeah.
Um,
Somebody tweeted me earlier, and I was just like, yeah, like, we're going into Lambeau Field with an elite quarterback that we have to play against. Somebody had the audacity to say there is no way that Aaron Rodgers should be considered elite. I'm like, what? Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Yeah, that's somebody that don't watch football.
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, they probably think Jimmy Garoppolo is elite,
Yeah. So my takes on the game. So I had mentioned before that Valdez Scantling was the one I was most worried about because Devontae Adams, he gonna do his thing.
Right.
Like, let's just be real. Like, he's like Debo. You can do what you need. You can try to contain him, but it's not gonna happen. He's gonna get what he needs, and Debo gonna do what he needs to do. But Valdez Scantling has now been considered doubtful for this game on Saturday. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
good. So that's good because the last game he actually went deep on us and scored a touchdown. And the reason why I was worried about Valdez Scantling is because he's a 6'4", 6'5" receiver with speed, and and I'm worried about like if Jimmy Ward was helping over the top to try to contain Devontae Adams, that size and speed was going to be a problem, and not because I felt like our corners would get burnt, but Aaron Rodgers, he's so surgical with the ball. He'll put it in a
Yeah.
spot where only his receiver can catch it, especially being like having a 6-inch advantage on somebody.
Right.
But he's not playing from what it's looking at. Alan Lazard has had the second most targets in the last 7 weeks for Aaron Rodgers. So he's starting to come on. And then Randall Cobb, even though he's older, he has that playoff pedigree. He can
And
still go
that's
in there.
Rogers' guy.
And that's Rodgers' guy. He trusts
Yep.
him on third downs. Randall Cobb, he's a great slot receiver. He knows how to get open. He's been in the NFL for a long time. He knows he knows coverages and stuff like that. So um I think it's going to be another close game like it was in week 3. I actually hope the weather is ugly because I know Aaron Rodgers has been playing there since 2005. But however, if it's really windy and snowing pretty bad and cold, I feel like it's going to turn into us to both teams running the ball. So
I
if it
don't look up
comes
the
down,
weather right now.
yeah, if the weather's not good, yeah. So if it comes down to both teams having to run the ball, I like our chances just because of the simple fact that plays to our strengths, and we're much better as far as you go with coaches. I know Matt LaFleur is a disciple of him, but Kyle Shanahan's the man. Like, he knows how to scheme stuff open. So I feel like his scheme will overcome the scheme that Matt LaFleur will take. But if it gets into a situation where we're gonna have to throw in, Jimmy's not going to just throw 8 times like he did in 2019. He's
Right.
going to have to throw. He's probably going to have to throw at least 15 to 20 times, which I'm okay with because, as we said earlier, once he gets over 20 throws, that's when the interceptions start. So if we can keep him under 20 throws and we can control the clock like we did with Dallas, if we control the clock like we did with Dallas, I think in the first half we had the ball like 20, 22 minutes, only had it like 8. Like, it was ugly. Like, we dominated the first half in time of possession. So if we can do that and keep the ball away from Aaron Rodgers, and if I was gonna say Alex Smith, I don't know where he's came from. Maybe because I'm hoping he was the quarterback right now. But anyway,
Right.
but if Jimmy can control be convertive on third down, like third and short, we need to keep it at third and short. If we start getting into third and like 10, third and 11, I think that's going to cause some issues.
Yeah.
And that's where the interceptions happen. That's when Devondre Campbell or what's his name? What's that free safety? Darnell Savage. That's when they're getting their bag and they'll start intercepting the ball. So yeah, as long as we can manage the ball, average like at least like 4 yards a carry and get into third and short, and Jimmy can play mistake-free football. Because if we have if we have 2 turnovers or more, I think we're losing this game.
Is that a thing, like Jimmy and mistake-free football? Like, does that even go together?
In a 17-game season, you might get it 3 times. So yeah, I mean, every once
I
in a while,
think
I
we
guess.
already got it the 3 times in this season.
Yeah. So, and that's what's scary. It's like, I feel like he gets worse when he gets in the playoffs. So yeah, I mean, even though we say all these ifs, like I know a lot's going to happen, but like I mentioned in the beginning of the show, we're just a more physical team. I think we're the most physical team in the playoffs, us and the Titans. So, with us being as physical as we are, I don't know if we'll be able to dominate. I think we have to limit Jim as much as possible. Yep, exactly, Sersky. So, if we can keep the ball out of the hands and we can manage the game, and we can, like you said, Jimmy, play mistake-free football. If we can do that, like I mentioned, just give me Trent Dilfer. Give me somebody who doesn't turn the ball over. Give me like 17 for 23 with 200 yards, maybe one touchdowns and no interceptions and no fumbles. I like our chances because I think we can bully these guys. However, as much as we say, oh, this is a different team, 49ers are a different team, so is Green Bay.
Yep.
Since week 11, they've scored the most 30-point games in the NFL. So they're scoring at will right now. It's not just Devontae Adams that's scoring all the touchdowns. A.J. Dillon's getting involved. Alan Lazard's getting involved. And so is Randall Cobb. So we have to be smart. It's going to come down to coaching and execution. So that's what I think.
Yeah. My thing is back to the mistake-free football. I feel like the Cowboys game, the Rams game were a lot closer than they should have been. And we probably, should have lost those games. However, I mean, at the rate that Jimmy's turning over the ball. However, the quarterbacks on the other team also had turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, Aaron Rodgers don't turn the ball over. So you can't go into this game expecting that if Jimmy has a turnover that we're going to win this game, because I'm not expecting Green Bay to have any turnovers. So that's where I'm worried. And then the 49ers this is now going to be their third away game, the third game on the road in a row.
Yeah.
That takes a toll. And then going into Green Bay like that worries me.
Yeah.
Like I said a little bit ago, I feel like Aaron Rodgers is just on a vengeance. Like I can't stand the guy personally, but like everything that he's done this off season and his whole thing, and what he like just has this I don't give a attitude, and he just wants to prove everybody wrong. Like we've seen now, they draft a quarterback, and we've seen him put back to back, probably, we don't know for sure yet this season, but probably back to back MVP seasons. Like this quarterback is, like, I think personally one of, probably, I would put
You
him
say
over
top
Tom
five?
Brady right now.
Would you put him
I
top
think
five?
he's
Top
number,
five?
yeah. He's definitely probably one of my top 3 right now, I think. And that's like crazy because he's already getting old. Like he's having MVP seasons at this stage in his career. Like that's just crazy. But like you said, yeah, the teams both changed a lot. I think that Green Bay's defense, they're getting back some weapons that they lost in like week 1, week 2.
Including their offensive line. Remember when we played them week 3, that whole left side were backups.
Yeah.
So now he has his starters. Bakhtiari's back, and so is their left guard. So
yeah, because we went into that game thinking that, Bosa was going to have a great game because they had a makeshift offensive line, and that didn't happen. But, and that's too, Bosa, it looks like, he was in the concussion protocol, and it does look like he should clear from everything that I heard. It seems like he was a full participant. Yeah. Fred Warner wasn't on the injury report today, so that's good. So yeah, I think this is going to be a great game. Like you touched on, we don't have Mostert, and I'm not expecting that our running game can pull what Mostert did in the playoffs last season. I don't know. I'm worried about this game.
Well, here's the thing too. If Aaron Rodgers, so Matt LaFleur already knows the tendencies of Kyle. Not saying he can stop him, but he knows the tendency. So think about it. He's going to go in the same game plan because if it worked the first time, he's feel like it's going to work again. Plus, now that our D line is better now and we're getting pressure, they're going to keep Aaron Rodgers in shotgun just like they did when they played us in week 3. Because all he did was stay back there in shotgun all game and pick us apart with the same guy. But like I said, now it's different. Now it's not just Devontae Adams. Like I said, Alan Lazard's been getting involved and Cobb. So, and then that guy, A.J. Dillon. So I feel like it's going to be the same type of blueprint. We just need to know how to execute that and maybe send an extra blitzer maybe send like Aziz Al-Shaair on the blitz or something, you know what I mean, to kind of get Aaron Rodgers off his game. Like I said, our pass rush has been phenomenal for the last like
Yeah.
6 weeks since they moved Armstead inside. However, I never doubt Aaron Rodgers because he's so fast at getting out that ball. He sees plays before they develop, and he's throwing that ball before the receivers even done finishing his routes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, they have like an unbelievable connection, him and Devontae.
Devonta,
Like
yeah,
it's
that back
crazy.
shoulder throw is the best I've seen. Like that, I mean, they play pitch and catch like it's like they're out there playing against boys. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
crazy. Um but yeah, we've talked about this, in the last few weeks about um that we're surprised that the quarterbacks on the teams that we're playing against haven't picked apart our defense, like, they haven't taken advantage of our corner situation like we thought that they probably should have, or we're
mhm.
going to. And that's the thing, is now we're playing a quarterback that he will take advantage of that.
He would
We
absolutely he
we've
will.
seen Amber, yeah, step it up, but have we seen a quarterback test him over and over and over and over, play after play after play after play? No, we
Hmm.
haven't. So when Rogers goes out there and does that, is Ambry going to be able to rise to the moment? I
Yeah,
hope so, but he's playing against elite competition, in the biggest game of his life,
biggest game of his life, and
yeah.
Devonte Adams is about to would be a free agent, so I'm sure he's trying to get him a ring before he leaves, like or if he stays, whatever the case may be. But
I
yeah,
mean, the best corners in the NFL can't lock down Devontae Adams. So,
exactly.
and we can't expect that Ambry Thomas is going to do it.
Yeah. And here's the thing too, it's like, and I understand like people are gonna say, well, we had him on the ropes. If we just let Aaron Rodgers score at the last minute or, Mason Crosby at the last minute. I get that. But like I said, this is a different atmosphere. Now this is playoff football. And Devontae Adams, and I'm telling you, if we try to put two men on Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers will pick you apart with somebody else. He's going to pick you
Yep.
apart with somebody else. So that's just what's going to come down to. And Devontae Adams, he moves around so much. He doesn't stay on one side. He lines up in the slot and both
Yep.
outside spots. So they're going to find the best mismatch and say, okay, and let's be real here. If I'm Devontae Adams, I'm talking trash. You know what, coach?
Yeah.
Let me line up against a rookie all day so I can cook him.
Yeah.
Seriously. So yeah, it worries me. However, like I said, I don't go with I say the last month to 6 weeks. I don't go into games anymore because I'm confident in the quarterback. I go into games because I'm confident in Kyle and D'Amico. So
Yeah.
that's why my confidence is at an all-time high because them two have been in their bag.
Yeah. Um, I'm expecting, John V's talked about that, he thinks that the coach at Green Bay is scared of Kyle and yada yada. But I think that this coach knows exactly what to do. He has to go in and shut down the run game. Everybody's well aware. Like I
Everybody
sent you that
knows that,
podcast,
yeah.
and I'm listening to Chris Sims last night and talking about that. That out of all the quarterbacks in the playoffs right now, he has the least faith in Jimmy G. Jimmy G's like, that, four of the whatever, or three of them are elite, four of them are elite, whatever, and then there's Tannehill, and Jimmy G's not even in the good category. Like,
Yeah.
and this is Kyle's best friend. Like, come on, like, so you think that this coach doesn't know to go in and try to his best? Like, he's gonna have that defense, shut down Debo and the run game the best that you can.
Yeah, and they're getting
Force
healthy
force
too.
force Jimmy to throw the ball,
Yeah.
because when you force Jimmy to throw the ball, what happens? He's gonna turn the ball over.
Yeah, and that linebacker who made all pro, Devondre Campbell, I don't think he played in week 3. And then that or no, no, sorry, Zadarius Smith didn't play. And then, like I said, so that was two key guys that they're missing in their front seven. And then now, like I said, they had the two offensive linemen who didn't play. So yeah, so both teams are about as healthy as they can get.
Yeah.
So, there's no
And this
excuses
team's
of
rested.
yeah, and
Green
there's no
Bay's had a week
excuse
of
of.
rest.
And it was funny too because I saw some article that Matt LaFleur, there, I guess he had the team as a whole sit down and watch the 49ers and Cowboys game so they can pick apart like the weaknesses, which to me is smart.
Yeah.
Let's
Hell
all
yeah.
sit down and watch the game as an assignment. We're going to watch it together instead of us going out to practice. This is our practice. We're going to sit
Yeah.
here. We're going to watch this game. Smart. That's smart business. Oh man,
Yep.
I can attack this part, attack that part, whatever the case may be. So yeah, and that gives them the extra week of preparation. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah, I don't know. I'm worried, but like I said, I don't know. I just feel like this team is hitting their stride perfectly, and the Packers have been the best team in football all year. They've been the most consistent. I know they lost to Detroit and stuff like that, but it's a division game. But it's just one of those things where I feel like at some point, they're gonna make some mistakes too. And I just think that, like I said, it's execution, lack of turnovers, and how well we can run this ball. Let me give a score prediction.
Sure.
Okay, 49ers are going to win this game. I'm going to say 21-17. I don't think it's going to be low scoring just because of the weather. And you know what? Before we go to you, I'm going to give a shout out to Robbie Gold because he was missing extra points and missing field goals and stuff like that. But man, he's been clutch these last couple weeks. He kicked the field goal to win us the game in overtime. He hit 3 out of 3 against Dallas, which was huge. He misses 2 of those field goals. We're going in overtime. And he hit one for 50 yards, which
Yeah.
everybody
He's
says
been
he
hitting them
can't
from
do.
a length. Yeah.
Yeah, his longest field goal make this week was 53. So he's not going to be able to do that. I don't think in Lambeau because it depends
Right.
on the but I got to give him his props because these last couple weeks he's been doing his thing, and I got to give him his props.
They interviewed him, I think today. He was
Oh,
did a
didn't
presser and he was talking about, I think that Lambeau's like the place that he's played in the most out of anywhere else. So that
Oh,
he's
probably because
used to
when he's with the
playing there,
Bears,
and
huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
he's used to playing in the cold. And he said that he has all these like I think he was saying like diving suits or some shit that he wears like to stay warm, like I don't know what the hell, some weird shit that he wears like underneath his uniform, like he's
Oh
all
wow.
set and ready. Yeah, it's like diving, like things that you wear, like I think to like stay warm, like in the water, and like surfing and
Really?
shit, like stuff like, yeah, yeah, to stay warm.
That's weird. Oh, that's
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
yeah, scuba gear. See, yeah,
Oh, scuba gear. Oh, okay.
it's crazy. Hey, DJ Malone. Um,
JV, I didn't think you'd have us get off the plane. That's hilarious. No, it's
yeah,
just, I mean, I'm trying to be realistic about the stuff. And like I said, I'm confident, but at the same time, you cannot be, you know, you, yeah, I'm confident, but at the same time, it's just one of those things where it's like, it sucks, man, because like all of us say, in spaces and stuff, me, you, John V, Tanya, Sersky, we all say the same stuff. Is it's like we're the only team, that comes out, as fan base comes out and says, well, if our quarterback plays clean football and this goes perfectly and the special teams does this and the defense does that, you don't hear people talking like that. We're talking to the Cowboys fans in spaces all week before we played them, and nobody ever said, oh, if Dak Prescott plays clean football, we're going to win, because they have quarterbacks who can overcome these turnovers. If Patrick Mahomes goes and throws two interceptions and they're down 14 points and it's halftime, they're not out the game
right.
because he can catch fire quick and be like, he can throw 3 touchdowns in 1 quarter. That's how good he is. Josh Allen, he can throw 2 interceptions and be down 20-10. The game's not over until it hits zeros because he can throw 2 touchdowns in the 1 quarter. We
Yeah,
don't have that.
yeah, he
You know
can
what I'm
put the
saying?
game on his
He
back
can
and
put the
win the
game on
game.
his back and say, I'm going to do that. And quick strike, too. It's not like dink and dunk. It's, I'm going to hit you for an 80-yard bomb
Yeah,
and get me back in this game. We don't have that. So that's what bothers me, JV. So I get what you're saying. And you're right. It feels like, the way I was talking, you probably thought I was going to say we're going to lose. No, I still like our chances, but it's just one of those things, man. It's like, we cannot, and people say, well, we were down 17-0 from the Rams. Okay, let's stop. It's a division game. That's different. if we go down 17, if we went down 17-0 against Dallas, I don't think we would have won. If we go down 17-0 against Green Bay, I know we did it at home in week 3, but this is a different ball game. We do that. If we go into Green Bay and Alex, I mean, why keep saying Alex? I don't know why. Jimmy plays the way he does.
You're already getting Jimmy off the team.
Yeah, I know. If he goes into Green Bay and plays the way he does in that second half against the Cowboys, it's curtains for us, man. Show's over.
Yeah. Do you think the Green Bay Packers can defend against our running game?
I haven't seen a team stop it in weeks, so I'm gonna say no, just because Kyle, the way he mixes it up, like I feel like teams fear the backfield so much when they see Debo back there, because I think when you have him and Elijah Mitchell in the backfield, they get scared because like who's gonna get the ball? They're like hoping it goes to Mitchell, but then it's like it throws off everybody's game because one misread and it could be a touchdown or it can be a 10-12 yard gain, wherever the case may be. So I feel like if they can read our offense fast, then they could. But like I said, when we do play action or we do the handoff or whatever the case may be, it's like, man, who's he going to hand the ball off to? So I think as a linebacker in front seven, you're kind of like wondering, like, man, who's going to get the ball? And like I said, if he hands it off left to Debo and then you're thinking he's going to give it to Elijah and you run to the right, you already made a mistake. Because now Debo has the ball. He's probably past the line of scrimmage and he's getting up for 10 to 15 yards. So, yeah, I'm going to say no on that one.
Yeah. I think that they could stop our running game, but I don't think they can stop Debo. So that's where I'll go.
Fair. Yep.
I am probably going to catch a lot of hell for this, but I'm going 28-21 Packers. I think that as much as they might not be able to stop Debo, whether or not they can stop our run game, we'll see. But I don't think that Jimmy can make it through this whole game mistake-free. And like Sersky said as well, it's whoever makes the least mistakes will win this game. And like I talked about, I don't think Rodgers will turn the ball over. So I think that we end up losing the turnover battle. And at the end of the day, I just think that, if the game has to be put onto the arms of those quarterbacks, I'm going to take Rodgers 100 out of 100 times. So
yeah, absolutely. No,
I think, we've heard the narrative for how long that Rodgers can't win in playoff games. He can't win playoff games at home. He can't whatever. I just don't think that narrative can just keep going forever.
Sure.
So something has to change there. But yeah. I don't trust Jimmy, so I haven't trusted him the entire season. Now I'm supposed to trust him with a thumb injury, a shoulder injury, freaking a leg falling off, whatever the hell. No.
And what's funny? I mean, not funny, but what's crazy? Like, with Jimmy, if he really does have a shoulder sprain, if he gets hit hard, like if he gets planted on that cold ground, you know what I mean? It could be worse. Like, as like your bones, it's hard. What can I say? Like if he already has an injury, if he's in that cold, that's going to make it worse. And if he gets sacked and stuff, it could be worse where he might not be able to finish the game.
Yeah. I mean, trust me, because we're trying to leave Vegas and that's having a big decision on where we're going because of our injuries from the car accident. We don't can't go somewhere that it's going to be cold, so
too cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he was saying that when the injury happens that he was getting sacked and he had went to go he was going to fall. And as he was falling, he thought about his thumb injury. So instead of pulling his hand down, he pulled his hand back up and landed on his shoulder. And that's how that injury happened. So it's like we have him thinking about his injuries again, as shit's happening. And now he has 2 injuries. So now when he gets sacked in this game, being cold on top of it, like you said, what's he going to think now? he can't put his hand down. He's going to be scared to put his shoulder down. It's like, now is he going to be able to protect the football, or now he's going to start fumbling again like he did a couple of weeks ago? Like I can't trust the whole situation.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good points. I mean, yeah, you're probably gonna catch some flack about it, about you saying that Green Bay's gonna win, but that doesn't make you no less of a fan. Your opinion's your opinion, and
Yeah.
you're calling it like you see it. They do have the better quarterback. Let's be real. But I feel like and this is not a homer take, but I do feel the 49ers, other than the quarterback position, probably has the best roster in football. Like our receiving core, I wouldn't even say our receiving core, our weapons on offense, you can argue is top 5 because we have Kittle. He's always the forgotten man because he doesn't have like the best games like he used to because he's using the blocker so much. But with the best left tackle, the best fullback, arguably the best middle linebacker. So what I'm saying, like we have so many pieces, a top 5 pass rusher. You know what I mean? Like we have so many pieces on this team, and like I said, it just sucks that we have to go into every game hoping everything else works perfect because we have a QB that will possibly turn the ball over and almost cost us a game.
Yeah.
So that's why. So your pick is not too far off. So I'm not even mad at you. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care if somebody's mad
Yeah,
at
no,
me.
you don't.
Yeah, I could care less.
So I met Miriah in person, and then Mariah's gangster. That's all I'm gonna say. Mariah's straight hood. But yeah. Well, so before we leave, I want to make another announcement. So as you guys know, if you guys been paying attention, Jamal Armstrong won the hat and T-shirt giveaway because we made the playoffs. And I said last show that if we make the Super Bowl, I'm going to do it again. So be on the lookout for that if we do get that far. If you win, I'll put your name in. I'll put all the subscribers' name in a hat. I'll pick out. I'm gonna do it old school. Put all the names in a hat. Pick out the name, and then whoever wins, I'll DM you and say, "Hey, you won," and then we can chit chat. We can chit chat and talk about it. Then we can talk about what kind of shirt you want, whatever the case may be. So yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that again if we go to the Super Bowl. So
there you go. And then I know that not too many people that follow our show, especially, are fans of Jimmy G. However, if you guys happen to know anybody or happen to be interested, I do have a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey that's brand new with the tags on it. If anybody's interested or knows somebody that needs a jersey, and there's situations out there people can't afford jerseys, whatever, or somebody that's a Jimmy G fan still, or whatever the case may be, have them reach out to me, leave a message on this video or on Twitter. Either way, I'll show you. It's this.
Sersky said there won't be any takers.
There's still a lot of Jimmy fans out there. So yeah, it's this
That's
one.
Hilarious. That's a pretty nice jersey too.
Yeah, still brand new, tags on it. So yeah, if anybody's interested, reach out and I'll
So
send
what you're
it your
telling
way.
me is you have a jersey of a $27 million quarterback sitting there that hasn't even been worn.
Give it to Rombo. I'll have Cersei deliver it to Rombo.
That's how embarrassing it is that there's a jersey sitting in your closet with the quarterback of the 49ers, not of Jacksonville, not of the Jets, of the 49ers making $27 million, and you can't even give it away.
I mean, that wasn't my jersey. I have my own Garoppolo jersey that I've worn. It's a black one.
Look at Tanya. She said, nope.
I'm sending it to you.
Yeah, and San. So we don't even have to win the Super Bowl. If we get to the Super Bowl, I'll do another giveaway. All we just have to get there. So make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you can be put in the pot. You know what I mean? So, and throughout the year, there'll be some other random giveaways too, because without you guys, me and Miriah wouldn't be here. So we're gonna be doing some random stuff. I like to give away clothes because you have my address. Yeah. So yeah, I like to give away clothes. I get I get a lot of discounts on Fanatics because I shop there so much, and because I was in the military, I get discounts. So I like to hook people up, whenever need be. So yeah, just like and subscribe, share our channel, tell people about it. Me and Miriah keep it real on here. There's no sugarcoating. You know, we drag everybody. I don't care who you are. If you have a bad game, you're getting dragged on here. We don't play favorites. We root for the Niners. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of people that still try to pretend, once in a while that they root for Garoppolo and that they're a Garoppolo fan just so they don't lose some of their
Lose followers.
subscribers. And
Yeah, that's
that ain't happening here, as you can see.
yeah. You
But
spelled John Jamal. That's funny. No, so yeah, and you're absolutely right. I'm not going to call anybody out, but I've had people in my DMs, actually hit me up and say, "Hey, man, you're a little negative on Jimmy. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be doing that because you won't have people subscribe to your channel." I'm like, I can care less. Like
right.
I'm not gonna change my tune on somebody because I'm scared I'm going to lose some followers or some subscribers. Miss me with that. Like that's ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, to each their own. Everybody has their own way of running their channel, and that's why it's your channel. This is our channel, and we will do it be real. And if people
Exactly,
don't like it,
Sin.
they don't follow us. I mean, that's how
Exactly,
simple
Sin.
as it is.
When you're real, you can never go wrong. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, if I cared, I would be taking the 49ers to win, and
Yeah.
that's not happening. But also as I send that jersey off to Tanya, we might be sending Jimmy off to his new team. This might be the last time if we lose that we see Jimmy in a 49ers uniform. So if that's the case, we'll have a lot to talk about on the next show.
And I don't know how much you guys travel for events and stuff like that, but if any of you are here for the draft, because the draft is in Vegas this year, me and Miriah both live here. So if you guys are in Vegas for the draft, hit me up, DM me. We can exchange phone numbers and stuff like that, and we can go and hang out and go have some drinks, have some dinner, talk 49er football, talk about a mediocre quarterback, whatever you want to talk about. I'm game. So
yeah, and shout out to John Chapman. I'm wearing my shirt from our road trip that I
when
met
you went to LA.
Yeah, they're doing one of these events as well in Vegas for the draft. So
yes, they are. Yeah.
I did sign up for the notifications on that. So as soon as we get some info going out on that, I'll share it here as well. Because that should be a really cool event. I believe he said that he's having Elijah Mitchell will be showing up there, as well as
and like an unnamed guest or something, right?
Yeah, there's another 49ers player that he hasn't announced yet. So yeah, that should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So if anybody's planning on coming, Sin says she'll be here.
Sin says she'll be here. Okay, cool.
All right. I don't
make
know,
sure you bring
Sin.
Make sure you bring your husband, Sin, because I ain't taking you out to dinner solo. I ain't trying to have him hunt me down, thinking I'm trying to take his woman.
And I'm too gangster for that. So
yeah,
I don't know. I
Mariah,
don't know if you guys can hang.
Mariah
with
probably
me.
Mariah probably got a pistol on her right now.
Yeah, just in case. What if you guys get out of hand on this show? Have to handle business. What did JV say here before we go? We just need to be level-headed. Everyone's supposed to react one another on their opinion. So you offer us such shit. Well, people can't really have opinions these days, it seems, because once somebody says an opinion that another person don't agree with, it's like instant fighting. It's like so crazy. I haven't seen so shit funny. Like this before.
You know what's so funny to me before we leave? What's funny to me is I don't know when it happened, but when did stating facts equal you're being a hater on somebody? Like if somebody says, "Oh, I met Teran, he's 5'8". Oh, why you're a hater? He's not that short, or whatever the case may be. Like that's a fact. I'm 5'8". So I don't know. It's just so ridiculous to me. So somebody posted something about Jimmy having the worst QBR in fourth quarter history in the playoffs. You guys are such a hater. That's a fact. What's hating about it? Like I'm telling you what the fact is. It's so stupid. I don't know. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, that same thing that saying Jimmy turned the ball over 5 times in the last 3 games. Oh, you're such a hater.
Yeah,
you're not a fan. Like he did.
That's
what
a fact.
do you mean? Like Yeah, it's like weird shit.
It's
Like
it's so
it's really
weird.
weird.
Like it's like this dude, like Cersei always says, it's like he has them mesmerized.
Yeah,
Like he has a curse on these people. Like saying the man had 5 interceptions in the last 3 games. How was that hate when it happened?
yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
Joel says that the other player is Warner, so that would be pretty awesome if so.
Oh, is that who it's supposed to be? Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's
Warner
actually
and
like
Elijah Mitchell. Yeah,
two popular
two
players. Like
studs.
that's pretty
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah,
yeah, like 2 studs on the team. Yeah,
not
that's
like he's having like
not like he's having
trash bag
Wishnowski and
Jones or
Travis
whatever something.
Benjamin or
Yeah,
somebody. He's like, oh, go ahead and come. We're gonna have Tavarius Moore and Trenton Cannon. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. TL is 42 and I'm 58 and gray. That's funny. Yeah, you're right, Sersky. It's that voodoo. I don't know what it is, man. It's like he put a spell on him or something. It's like like I said, it's like when did I don't know. Like me and Tanya were talking about it yesterday. It's like this society has gotten so soft.
Yeah.
Like so many people are so sensitive and don't want to hear truth. Like being real and telling the truth has now become like you're getting canceled. And it's like a cult. Like you're right, John B. It's like you get canceled for saying stuff like that. Somebody blocked me earlier because I said something about Jimmy, and I didn't say nothing bad. I was just like, yeah, he executes good in the last 2 minutes of games. And they were like, no, he plays great games too. And I'm just like, no, he doesn't play. He doesn't play complete games. He plays great halves, great quarters. And then I looked like 10 minutes later, and then the conversation was blocked. And then I looked at their front runner, they
Wow.
blocked me. I'm like, you blocked me for this? Like, it's ridiculous.
That's the problem with Jimmy. He's inconsistent. Like we say that every day for the last 4 years. Like, no, he doesn't have good whole games. That's the problem.
Well, you know what's sad? It's like, he has almost 50 starts, right? Or whatever it is. You can count on one hand where he played where you can consider maybe a great game.
Yeah.
That's I don't know, that's suspect. Like that's so you're looking at so what if you look at 5 in the 40, what is that? It's like he has a great game 8% of his starts. That's not good enough.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
It
John.
must be the chin line, maybe the jawline.
Yeah. If he looked like Andy Dalton, he would have been off this team.
Yeah. Looked like Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
We're gonna get his replacement, Daniel
Yeah.
Jones. Let's see how his fans like it then. They'll be mad. They're gonna be
Yeah.
mad if we replace Jimmy with Daniel Jones.
Oh my God. Or it'll be like if Trey has 2 bad games, put Daniel Jones in. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy. Do you have any more questions in the chat?
No, but that's
No, we're good.
everything.
All right, fam. I love you guys, man. Honestly. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, there was a lot of shows on tonight, but you guys, you guys always be hanging with us. You come to our channel faithfully, and I truly appreciate that.
You guys come to faithfully. We appreciate
That for
it.
real, huh?
No, but yeah, I appreciate all of you. Yeah, you could be anywhere and you're here, so
Yeah.
it's always a pleasure. It's always a great time. Couple more days, shall see what happens. You're just now subscribing. Like, wow, this mofo here.
It's all right, Cersei. Better late than never, bro. Oh, you know why? Because he heard about that giveaway. No,
I'll send you the Jimmy G jersey. It's okay for the brand new subscriber.
That's funny.
You have won the Jimmy G jersey.
If you give that jersey to Cersei, he'll use that to wash his car.
No.
Am I right, Cersei? I don't even think he'll use it as that. It'll be a floor mat or something.
Thanks for subscribing. We appreciate
For
you guys.
sure.
Everybody have a great night. Stay safe out there. Talk to you guys soon.
All right.